Hey, this is Connor with Biker's Edge, and today I'm joined by Jordan Hukee. What's your role at Orbea, Jordan?
I am Orbea's Creative Director and USA Marketing Manager.
Awesome. So, really cool thing, we're out here today with the new Orbea Rise e-bike, and Jordan's going to tell us a little bit about it.
The Rise is our solution for riders who are looking for something a bit different from a traditional e-bike experience.
So what's different about the Rise compared to, say, the Wild FS?
Okay, the Rise is based on our RS, or Rider Synergy philosophy. It's for riders who are looking to pedal more. They don't want to feel like the bike's just carrying them up the hill, but they want to have a more traditional riding experience, like riding their own trail bike that they love. The RS philosophy is made up of 4 parts. Basically, you've got a special RS motor that produces 65 Newton meters peak torque, which is a little lower than a traditional mountain bike, e-mountain bike.
Okay.
You've got
normally it's what, 85-ish? So you're pretty
exactly.
close, but
yep.
Okay.
You're close, but that power output keeps you down in the range where you can still use traditional mountain bike components, which makes a big difference in the weight.
Right, overall weight of the bike, because you're now using a regular Box 36 instead of the e-bike version.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the 4 aspects are basically the RS motor. We've got RS range, which uses our own battery that we developed with Shimano and our other partners. The interface, which is much sleeker and more discreet than a traditional e-bike. There are no lights on the top tube. You've just got a single power button here down by the bottom bracket, and then a really minimal display on the cable. That's super expandable. You can use Bluetooth and LEV compatible devices. In fact, like a Garmin IQ will give you full information, but when you look down at the cockpit, it looks like you're riding a regular bike.
You mentioned weight, how it's lighter weight. What's the claimed weight? What are we looking at here?
Well, we're looking at pretty awesome weights in terms of a trail bike. Awesome. In terms of a trail bike with a Fox 36 and a Float X2. This bike right behind us, I weighed at home, and it's just at 39 pounds.
Okay. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
I mean, you've got regular, like almost enduro bikes kind of getting into that weight
category. Yeah. If you're already riding a pretty beefy enduro bike and you've got downhill tires or heavy casing tires, you might be in the 35, 36 pound range.
Yeah, you're not far off. That's awesome.
And then the lightest version, the m-ltd, has a target weight of 36 and a half, or just under 37. And I have yet to weigh that one, but because this one was close to what we're saying, I think we're going to be right there. So.
Okay. So on that lighter weight version, are you stepping down to like a Fox 34 at that point? Any difference with the tires?
Yes, that one will we're trying to get that one as light as possible. Okay. So that one will have carbon wheels. It'll have an E13 carbon crankset. It'll go to the Fox DPS instead of the DPX2. Okay. Yep. And it'll have a 34 on the front.
And a few 140 mil.
Yeah, it'll be 140. So it'll be 140. This bike, the Team, and the M10 and the M20 will all be a 150 fork with the Fox 36 on the front.
Tell me a little bit more about the target rider for this bike.
Okay, we envision the rider for this bike being, a trail rider who loves the way a normal trail bike rides, loves the maneuverability, loves the nimble feel of riding a bike that doesn't weigh 48 pounds or 50 pounds.
Sure. That's huge in the e-bike because, you go ride an e-bike and you have all the power. So climbing's obviously great, but downhill they can ride quite a bit different. Like they don't have that same mountain bike feel. It's true. So is that what you were after with this bike?
Yep, it's true. I mean, we have a full powered e-bike in the Wild FS. It's super fun. It'll get you to the top fast, and riding it downhill just kind of gobbles up everything. It feels like riding like a 2010, downhill bike.
Okay.
But this is for riders who want to make quick direction changes, like to manual, like to pop up things on the side of the trail. And then when they are pedaling uphill, it's less of a powered experience and more of a familiar experience. You don't have to worry about like surging off the side of the trail because the bike kicks in when it's not supposed to.
You're not braking on uphill corners.
The power is really alive. It really responds to your output, which is a pretty unique feel.
So it's pretty smooth. I take it that it's the power feels very natural?
Yes, that was our goal with this bike. Was we wanted to avoid this idea of once you just start pedaling at a moderate cadence that the bike just starts pulling you up the hill.
Okay.
It's definitely linked directly to your power output. The harder you push, the harder the bike goes.
Okay, so if you're willing to put in some effort, you'll get a little more assist out of the bike.
Yep, that's exactly it.
But if you're just kind of putzing along the bike,
yep,
it's not going to be this weird.
You're conserving battery.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Speaking of conserving battery, what's the range, or how many watt hours is this battery?
Well, this battery is an internal battery that has 360 watt hours.
Okay.
And what we found,
I guess the motor's smaller and it's using less power, right? So 360 isn't necessarily the same as like a 360 in the Wild FS.
Exactly.
Okay.
What we found is that there's about a 1.5 factor, meaning that because this motor is more efficient, because the system weight of you and the bike is less,
okay,
and because you do pedal more, you get about a 1.5 factor, so you'll get a range similar to a normally bike with, let's say, like a 540 watt hour motor.
Which is pretty standard. You know, that's going to get you 40, 50 miles maybe?
Yeah.
Depending on your terrain?
Exactly.
Okay. This bike drops today. When should it be shipping? When are we expected to see this?
We hope to have bikes in your shop by the middle or end of November.
Awesome. We're stoked. We're going to have demos in this bike and a whole bunch of floor models. So if you want to check it out, be sure to come by Biker's Edge and check out the new Orbea Rise. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you.
All right.